everybody in line. Bye-bye. It's not just the two of us either. Here to kick us off is my co-host of the tour and the host of the Tonight Show, and That's My Jam on NBC, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
They keep driving like that. This is gonna have fun.
I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Alito.
And the greatest driver.
Joey.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Alito.
both me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That is right. We have some important safety rules. First and foremost, if you need any guest assistance, you have a medical emergency, or you're out something of value off the side of the tram, or sound or video issues or anything, no worries. Reach up and grab that red cord that runs right down the center of the ceiling of the tram. I'll come back and assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, please do remain seated at all times with your arms and legs inside the vehicle. There's no smoking of any kind on the tour. And be prepared because the tour features 7 tram movements, loud noises, fire effects, and water effects. So definitely have your cameras out. You're going to take awesome photos today. Make sure you keep it protected. And for your safety, please no selfie sticks on board the tour.
They're so 2016.
Now we are heading out to our backlot. Via this road we call our timeline. So make your way down the hill and you'll see some posters on either side of the vehicle of some of the different Universal productions throughout the years. But on the right-hand side, you'll also see the Starway. This is the big escalator that takes you to the lower lot of the theme park. So you can see we are literally a real working theme park directly next to a real working movie studio. But what I think is the coolest thing about Universal, we're actually an entire city. We're at Universal City Studios. Our founder, Carl Lumley, had a dream to create an entire city all dedicated to making movies and to entertaining you guys. Now, over 100 years later, we are still keeping that dream alive. And because we are a real city, we have everything that a real city would need. So coming up on the right, you're going to see a fire station. Some people ask me where this is a set from. It's not a set. This is the actual fire department for Universal City, Fire Station 51. So these are our real heroes out here. Now, we named our fire stations the fictional fire stations from the TV show Emergency. But if you watch Chicago Fire, they're also Fire Station 51. Because now it's kind of become like a little Easter egg that will hide in different NBC Universal productions as a tribute to the firefighters here in our lot. But our filmmakers love filming out here too.
It just turned 30.
The entire city is designed with production in mind. Production actually has 3 different parts. There's pre-production, that's like writing, casting, getting ready to film. Production, and we're actually filming. And post-production, editing everything, doing test screenings, marketing campaigns. We have everything that you need for all 3 phases, all in one place. And on the left, you'll see some construction where we're upgrading and expanding.
There's my favorite. My favorite King Kong.
This big building that they're working on is called the Sound Stage. You'll see the Voice logo on the side of this one. This is where the Voice used to film, but they moved to one of our brand new sound stages last season for their 23rd season. We call these sound stages though because when the doors are closed, it's about 98% soundproof inside of these. So we can build any sort of set that we want inside of these buildings, close the doors, and it keeps it isolated for us. These over on the left-hand side were recently used for the 2nd season of Blair that airs on NBC's streaming service Peacock. It's kind of like a dramatic re-adaptation of The Prince of Bel-Air starring Jabari Banks and Taylor.
Probably fits the whole Bel Air cast and crew.
You know, we gotta get one of these for nature. And for sure, you're lucky for y'all. The base Yummy Mansion lives right here on the Universal lot.
Right. Some of Bel Air's most
Beautiful seasons and feelings right here. Sure. We've been here most memorable moments. There's so many to choose from. You know how you to feel yourself when Will first enters, and at that moment his life changes forever. What about you?
well. Ooh, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you having to sit in that cold ice bath for hours.
Yeah, that was great. No, but seriously, our favorite part of this lodge is the talented crew who put it all together. From hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Yes, transport's the best.
We're gonna get a ride like this. You better go talk to transport now and let these people go back to their tour.
Yeah, that sounds good.
No, I've got the keys.
Now, talking about the vehicles that we use for filming, you've probably heard actors say, "I'll pin my trailer." We have trailers or mobile dressing rooms for our stars, but also hair and makeup trailers, wardrobe trailers, basically anything that you would want for filming, we want to be mobile. Because we don't only film inside of our sound stages. We also film out on our backlot, that we'll see in just a minute. We can film on location, that means we go to a real place. And our studios are incredibly collaborative, so we can rent out studio space on each other's lots to film as well. But I mentioned we do our pre-production and post-production out here too. So coming up on the right, you're going to see the Minions hanging out in front of the Illumination side. Illumination is the company that brought us Despicable Me, The Secret Life of Pets, and the Super Mario Brothers movie. They have their offices right out here on our lot. So does Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions. So does Seth MacFarlane. Recently, we've been out here filming shows like Grand Crew, Nicole Meyer, Lopez versus Lopez with George Lopez. We've also been filming the prequel series for Ted. And over on the left, here's the star himself, Ted, toasting us with a very dirty martini. He's been outside for a minute. Those offices are right behind Ted. In these buildings, we call production bungalows. Originally, though, those were built to be dressing rooms for stars like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Lucille Ball, Jimmy Stewart. Because in the 20s, all the way up into the very, very late 40s, we had a completely different system. It was called the studio system, or the contract player days, because the actors would sign one contract with one movie studio and only do movies for that studio on that studio's lot. So, instead of a trailer or mobile dressing room like we would use now, they would get their own personal permanent dressing room out here. So these were built kind of like little apartments for our stars, a little home away from home. Since then, they've been converted into offices for some of the top writers, directors, and producers in all of Hollywood. It's been the case for a while, too. In fact, you'll be able to pick out my favorite production bungalow, 5195, because you'll see the infamous silhouette of Sir Alfred Hitchcock painted on the side. This was his office when he filmed Alfred Hitchcock Presents out on our lot. Now, coming up, you're going to see two of the brand new sound stages that I mentioned. It's incredibly convenient that these in particular were built so close to our back lot as opposed to the stages we passed in the front lot. Well, because the first production to film inside of these was Hairspray Live with Jennifer Hudson and Ariana Grande. Since it was a live production, they could film all the interior scenes inside of these stages. Then during the commercial break, all they had to do was run across the street to our Metropolitan sets that they dressed up to look like Baltimore. But we can dress these Metro sets up to look like any city that we want. In fact, you know when you watch American Ninja Warrior and they say we're filming in the streets of LA? Well, they're filming in the streets of our backlot right out here. It would be way too dangerous for the contestants to be doing all those crazy obstacle courses in the actual streets of LA. And I hear they can do pretty much anything they want. And we've worked with some awesome directors in this area too. In fact, one of my favorites, Peter Jackson, even came to this area, not even to film in our Metropolitan sets over there on the left, but just to make a little something special for you guys.
It's the original King Kong that made me watch
Okay, this is making my legs go a lot better.
Yeah.
Something.
Oh, and did take glasses on?
Well, you need them. They protect.
Oh, nice.
They protect you from the dinosaurs.
Nice. Got your glasses on there? I said to put them on. Oh, we're going into King Kong.
Now we have created
You don't need to worry about the Kong. You need to worry about the dinosaurs.
We really put a lot of thought into the character
No,
of
you said not to put them on yet.
He's so much more than a monster.
Happen in your hand.
In fact, he's not a monster. You know, he is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart.
He's a hero.
The most important feature of Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion.
All right, y'all. I got a feeling this is going to be a bumpy ride. So hold on tight to all of your loved ones. And by that I mean your cell phones, your iPads, your purses, your bags. You don't want to lose anything in here. Be sure to remain seated at all times with your arms and legs inside the vehicle. And prepare yourselves, because we're going back to Skull Island.
Kong is not the one you need to worry about. It's the dinosaur.
Kong is the nice one.
What? No, he's not. Well, he's a good monster. I'm ready to see Harambe. You gotta get out of here.
It's a T-Rex.
That's not a T-Rex, that's a V-Rex.
Something actually moved my face! They actually have something move my face!
You just survived King Kong 363D! That is one of the largest and most intense 3D experiences
I
on
told
the
you these
planet.
things.
I like
And you can go and take off your
Even though the
3D
Harry
glasses.
Potter
Do
thing
hold
is
on
better,
to
that
those
was
clean one more time.
That was
Jeremy,
intense.
to let you
that
know.
was awesome.
Yeah.
That was not water, that was saliva.
But also by the geniuses and wet effects. They're the same ones
Good
with
on
the
you.
CGI of the movie King Kong.
That's saliva.
King Kong 363D was all digitally created. The movie was a combination of digital and practical. Physically in the scene, but their body was not added in post-production. So this version of the SS Venture and Skull Island were actually miniature models. They created extremely detailed, tiny versions of the ship and of the island. By using real water and a wave machine, makes the whole thing look incredibly realistic. Especially when they add in the fog, the lighting, the effects. Check this out. That's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
Unless, of course, a pesky dog decides to swim into frame. Then it either looks like a little boat or a really big dog.
Everybody's crying.
Changes the focus of the scene just a little bit. With that ship on your screens, this train we're passing on the right, these are both perfect examples of what we call picture cars. I know neither one of us is calling it rear drive, but the term picture cars refers to any vehicle caught on camera and seen by an audience. They can use them to literally set the scene. Like, we want our Metropolitan sets to look like New York City. Make a handful of our fake New York City taxi cabs, have them drive in a big circle over and over again. Then it looks like dozens and dozens of them going by on a busy day. And check this out here on your screens. This is Tom Selleck driving the infamous Magnum PI Ferrari. This is a real Ferrari, but you see the interior is beige. Watch it drive away. The interior changes to black. That is an entirely different vehicle. That's their stunt car. And get your cameras ready because it's coming up as part of a collection of some of our favorite picture cars over on the left. But this Ferrari, I call her faux Ferrari. It's really just a Ferrari shell over a dune buggy with a Volkswagen engine. That way if they accidentally wreck it doing any of those crazy stunts, they don't have to worry about paying to replace a Ferrari. Also vehicles from American Graffiti, Back to the Future, the Flintstones, Harry Potter. We also have some of our vehicles from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Actually, we just celebrated the 30th anniversary of the original Jurassic Park.
Finally,
film
someone
last
gets
week,
it.
So, to celebrate, what do you guys say we take a little vacation? Maybe head to a little jungle island off the coast of Costa Rica, or in other words.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
We are going to check out some of the props, set dressings, and picture cars from all three of the original Jurassic Park movies, including the Jeep coming up on the right that also made a cameo in Jurassic World. But in the third movie, Lost World Jurassic Park, there is this epic scene where Julianne Moore and Vince Vaughn's characters are stuck inside this mobile lab, this big like 2-part RV, and a T-Rex comes up and starts to push the whole vehicle off the side of a cliff. If you use the real vehicle that they were driving around in, that thing is heavy. It's made out of metal, way too difficult to maneuver for a scene where it's supposed to be hanging off the side of a cliff. So instead, we built the mobile lab coming up on the left. Look closer on the windows and you'll see it splintering a little bit. This entire vehicle is made out of lightweight balsa wood that's only painted to look like metal.
Careful.
In fact, for the most part, the only real metal is for our cages, but they have to be real because they...
Yep.
Why are these cages empty?
Yeah.
Look at the Dilophosaurus, look out!
Those are venomous.
Oh, she
Oh,
got me.
raptors in there as
Let her
well.
go. Here's that scene from Lost World Jurassic Park where we push our fake mobile lab off this cliff and
No,
coaster.
it's on me!
This doesn't have to look like I'm using the trees
I
on
didn't
the
think
inside
she'd
of the
actually
vehicle.
get me!
Those are made out of full wood. Now check this out. I love this scene. This is not CGI. When Julianne Moore falls here, this is an actual practical effect. But we're not really going to drop Julianne Moore into a plate of glass. It's not very nice. So what we did instead was film the scene in reverse. She's hooked up to a cable that pulls her backwards in the air. We show it in reverse, and it looks like she's falling. But now that you know that, watch the scene one more time. See if you see her swing on the cable a little bit when we first see her.
I can still hear them. I can still hear the raptors. I cannot believe you
Right?
actually got me.
Here. But you'd never notice if we didn't point it out, right? Then we added one CGI detail, the glass cracking. But there is an effect in that scene you might not have even thought about. The rain. Anytime you see a big rainstorm like that
What,
on
like
camera,
money?
we have to create that.
Oh no.
So we're gonna show you how we make the rain effects in this next area of our lot we call Old Mexico. Got the crew all set up to give us a real life rain demonstration. So over on the left-hand side, you're gonna see we combine a few different elements together to make it look like there's lightning. We just have our strobe lights, and then you can. Oh, hold on. Hey guys. Hey, how you doing? Can we turn on the sprinklers? It'll be super fast, I promise. You can go on break, please. Thank you. So to make the rain, you can see we just take sprinklers, kind of like what you would use to water your lawn. They're already out of view of the camera up on these poles. So the trick is, instead of spraying the water down, they shoot the water up into the air so that it falls naturally to earth and looks more like real rain. All right, we get the idea. You guys can go ahead and fill the sprinklers. Thank you guys. Turn off the water.
Uh-oh, there's a flash. Look out, hun.
Why?
Keep the stuff dry.
Oh, shit!
Oh no.
Oh, no!
We're in deep trouble, guys.
Mamma mia!
Flash flood, look out.
Oh no.
No way, bro.
All of that water's now going to go right underneath the bridge where it's pumped back up to the top of the hill so it can be released and recycled all day long for the tours. But that's not just for the tour, that is a real
I
set.
thought that was gonna come
Check it out,
in.
this scene from the movie Big Fat Liar. By the way, this is the movie I always recommend watching after you take the tour. It filmed all over our lot. You'll recognize just about every single set. And now we're heading into our Western sets. If you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, yeah, the movie within the movie, filmed right out here. You can see on your screen, all we have to do is cover up the concrete we're driving on now with dirt, add in our props, set dressings, Western attire, and of course our dueling cowboys.
big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
They're both named Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here.
No, not a real flight.
Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal line.
I heard this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Pretty fitting we have our half and half Jimmy Fallon here too, because right now we're at about the halfway mark of our tour. So just a reminder, stay seated. If at any point you drop anything or you just can't wait to use the restroom, just pull that red cord and I'll come back and help you out. It's also fitting Jimmy's half hero, half villain, because so far we've been celebrating our heroes, like our misunderstood hero, King Kong.
Yeah.
The real heroes of filmmaking are directors, producers, actors, writers. So let's talk about some villains. Universal is famous for the horror genre. Back around the corner over on the left, you're going to see this pretty little lake.
That was funny
This
when the
lake was
dinosaurs
originally
sprayed
the
it.
Black Lagoon from Creature from the Black Lagoon.
It doesn't usually get me when I'm back here. That's why I sit here.
And the Creature is just one horror icon who got his start here. Pretty much all the greats. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Invisible Man.
wet.
Who's right over there?
Elsa?
We're starting this next area that we call Little Europe. And we call it that because we could dress this up to look like any European town we want, but really it could be absolutely anywhere. In fact, this year we celebrated the 90th anniversary of the movie The Mummy with Boris Karloff. Over 90 years ago, they filmed out here, but they dressed it up to look like Cairo, Egypt. And since then, it's been Tortuga and Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. It was the fictional country of Genovia for Princess Diaries 2, a royal engagement. Yeah, the little girls in their tiara parade. It was right through here. And this was even the perfect afterlife for the TV show The Good Place with Kristen Bell, Ted Danson, Darcy Carter, and William Jackson Harper.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. So on your screen, you're seeing a yogurt shop that makes several appearances throughout the series. You can see how big this looks on camera, but it's kind of an optical illusion. They strategically went in and added in these tables, chairs, umbrellas, even the flowers on the side of the building. Those are totally fake, made out of plastic, and angled the camera to make the space look larger, because in reality, this is where they were filming. So you can see how small this building looks in real life, but add in those props and set dressings, and this becomes this.
Risk going to the bad place?
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
One thing that is pretty awesome, though, coming up on the right, we call this area our Court of Miracles. The very first time the Frankenstein image was ever caught on film happened right over there. Now, Frankenstein was famously played by Boris Karloff, who also played the Mummy, but I have to give a shout out to Jack Pierce. He was the one who created the makeup for both of those productions. Because in the 20s and the 30s, for the most part, our actors just did their own makeup. Like Bela Lugosi famously played Dracula, filmed out here. He actually did his own makeup for the movie Dracula. But a lot of people don't realize that in the book Frankenstein, Mary Shelley never describes what Frankenstein's monster is supposed to look like. It's the iconic look of the flat top, the scars, the bolts. That was created by this man here on your screens, Jack Pierce. Pretty crazy that over 91 years after he created this look, when we think of Frankenstein's monster, we immediately think of his work. Unfortunately, he never got an Oscar for makeup design, though, but it's really just because the category didn't exist at the Oscars while he was alive, so never got an Oscar, but does get a shout out on the studio tour, so just as good, right?
Yeah.
Now, this was absolutely revolutionary at the time. No one had ever seen any sort of prosthetics like this before, which would have been awesome, except for the fact that Frankenstein was not the only production filming on our lot at the time. So people would show up to work,
Well,
to work on
hopefully
other
coming up
movies.
is my favorite
They would see
part.
Boris Karloff in makeup, basically just a giant monster walking around the backlot, freak out, lose their mind. There were people fainting, seeing Boris Karloff in makeup. Basically, this was everyone's reaction. No, seriously, this really was so terrifying at the time. On your screens, you're seeing Jack Pierce leading Boris Karloff to set with a burlap sack over his face. because they got so many complaints about how terrifying his makeup was. Ultimately, the only way that he was allowed to go to work is when they would cover his face up.
How do you breathe through that?
Now, Universal has continued to pioneer the horror genre. In fact, it seems like every decade we are introducing a brand new horror icon. Some of the biggest names in the genre, too, credit our Universal monster movies as giving them their inspiration.
When we think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera.
Classic films. They're just brilliantly made.
That Frankenstein image, flathead, bolts,
It's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film.
And I was just mesmerized by this movie.
Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
So on your screens, this is Bela Lugosi in his full Dracula makeup and costume. By the way, this is one of the most influential horror films ever created, but even more so than this one is the Spanish language version of Dracula. If you've never seen it, I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of the genre. They filmed at the exact same time using the same sets on our backlot, but the English version would film during the day, and the Spanish language version would come in and use all the sets to film at night. Since it was darker and creepier, they used new camera angles that have really never been seen before. It is still hailed as one of the most influential films that has ever been created, not even just for the horror genre, but just in film history in general. Then our little montage of different directors, horror creators. We saw Steven Spielberg talking about our classic movie monsters. He went on to make a movie that has continued to terrify me pretty much my entire life. Jaws. We're gonna check out Amity Island. Don't worry, guys. You can ignore the beach closed sign. Obviously, they had a problem a while back with a shark. You picked the perfect day to take the tour. Just this morning, the crew went out and caught the shark, hanging up over on the right-hand side. So we are totally safe.
Oh my God!
This is the Jaws. Let's all give them a big wave hello. Oh, there they.
I'm scarred my grandmother.
That's not the crew. That's a fin. That's a big fin, guys. There's another shark out there. Hey, buddy, you need to get back in your boat. Dude, get back in your boat right now. There's a shark heading right towards you. He's fine. He's okay. Don't worry about that. Nobody look over there. We're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna go. Okay, looks like we're just gonna hide behind these giant, highly flammable barrels of gasoline. Always a good idea in an emergency.
Yeah.
Now, we did put some bait in the yellow barrel, though, so hopefully the shark will just take the bait and leave us alone.
I will.
Oh, perfect, he took the bait. He took the bait, but that's a good beer.
It's getting hot.
Actual fire!
Yeah. I'm looking out there. I don't even see the shark anymore.
Yeah, neither do
Did you guys see the shark anymore? I bet the fire scared him off. Oh! Okay, maybe I was wrong.
Oh God, here he comes.
Real fire!
When they were filming Jaws, Steven Spielberg started to call their mechanical shark Bruce, because Bruce was the name of Mr. Spielberg's attorney. Luckily for him, too, his attorney worked a lot better than the shark did.
He drove by us.
That is the real shark.
We're always saying, Dracula's not working.
We just waited around. We just waited. The shark was well enough for a while there.
It's the only shark in the world that can do the backstroke.
The problem was they tested Bruce in a freshwater tank. He swam around, worked great. But for realism, they filmed on location at Martha's Vineyard. No one took into consideration the fact that the salt water might act differently.
He died.
They put Bruce in the water. The salt immediately champed him over the ears. No, he sank to the very bottom of the ocean on the first day of filming. How unprofessional can you get? Even though Jaws filmed on location, this whole area on the left is a real set. In fact, you'll see where the dock still says Cabot Cove, because this was once Cabot Cove from Murder, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury. The happiest show about murder ever. They do still use that as a set, though. In fact, recently they were out there filming an episode of Quantum Leap with Raymond Lee. The same episode they were filming out there used the building coming up on the right-hand side that we call our Chicken Ranch. This was once Miss Moda's Chicken Ranch from the movie Best Little House in Texas, starring Dolly Parton, who was just inducted this year into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Go Dolly! What I love, though, this is the exact same spot where they filmed this scene from an episode of the original Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula back in 1993. So 3 decades later, the whole thing comes full circle. That was also the family's house in the movie Beethoven's Fate. That movie also used this street on the left-hand side of passing by. We call it Colonial Street. Much Never Have I Ever, created by Mindy Kaling. Right out there. I love that show. Sweet, the 4th and final season just hit Netflix. Binged the whole thing in like 2 days. It's so good. Even though we call that Colonial Street, most people probably recognize it as Wisteria Lane, home to ABC's Desperate Housewives. I mentioned we could rent out our studio space on each other's lots to film. Normally it's for like a few days or weeks, sometimes a few months if it's a really big production. ABC rented out that part of our lot for 6 years.
I think the shark got me as
the
well.
entire run of Desperate Housewives, and nobody else was allowed to film out there. Even when the show was on hiatus.
We're unusually lucky.
We've also used that for The Burbs with Tom Hanks. It was used in Casper with Christina Ricci. It was even Nellyville for Kelly Rowland and Nelly's music video, Country Grammar. But we use all of our lot for filming, even the road we're driving on now. This road is perfect too. It's made bigger than a regular road so our trams can go by. So it's perfect to film our picture cars.
And you actually think the man is dead?
Coming up over here on the right-hand side too.
No, what? That was probably just a dummy.
Favorites, Bumblebee from Transformers. Also, one of our vehicles from Furious 7. We have been super busy working on the Fast and Furious vehicles, promoting Fast X. Really fun music, by the way. We even have a garage out of our backlot specifically just to work on the Fast and Furious vehicles. This year, Variety created a list of the 100 greatest films of all time. They got a collection from all of the critics. They all voted the #1 best movie, according to their list, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Over on the right, this is the Bates Motel and the original Psycho house from the film. Now the movie, the Psycho house, is supposed to be this giant mansion that's really far away from the motel, but you can see it's actually pretty close. So what we do is we use a technique called forced perspective. Oh no. Okay, I definitely did not think Norman Bates would actually be here. What's he doing? He's probably just helping a guest with their bags. That's nice.
We all know what I'm imagining.
Ryan.
Look up the window, yeah. That was Mother.
Mother's in the window.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's not good.
Mamma
you know what?
mia.
Maybe he won't see us. I mean, there's only like 160 of us staring right at him. But as long as nobody waves, I think we're clear. Stop waving! You guys are just to wave.
Hello!
We just got here just now. We did not see anything else that happened before this moment in time. So you don't need to worry about anything. We're just going to get... Oh, okay.
We're in trouble, guys. Oh, no! You're going to get us.
Did he get anybody back there? Oh, that was close. That was almost a complete disaster.
No, he's looking at me.
In fact,
Looking at me!
that was almost as big a disaster as the disaster site for Paramount Pictures' War of the Worlds. We're going deep into the heart of one of the most impressive sets that has ever been constructed. The plane crash from the 2005 film War of the Worlds starring Tom Cruise.
Right in the ear.
This is still considered one of the greatest sets ever built.
I got him!
Not only was this directed up by one of the greatest directors of all time, Steven Spielberg,
Jeez.
and help from one of the greatest production designers of all time,
That's a real. That's a real plane.
I still smoke still.
Your plane set that is all designed around
I think that's all just like water and stuff. I'm calling that. That's smoke. You can see it's actually smoke.
It's just something you don't see.
Oh, is
And
my
yes,
short
that is
still?
a real 747 that they brought out here just to be ripped apart and destroyed.
And someone dropped
They
their
did a pretty good deal on
glasses,
this, though.
and there's toys scattered
only a certain number
everywhere.
of miles that planes are allowed to fly before they're retired, so there's this huge airplane
No.
graveyard out in the Mojave Desert.
Dude, look at that
They're
microwave.
only about $60,000, which that's on the 47. That's not too bad. Problem is, it cost them over $200,000 just to get it out here. So
No,
yeah, they
Bumblebee!
get you the shipping and the handling every time, right? So
Someone dropped their
$4 million
Bumblebee.
was spent on this set.
It's not Christmas!
One scene.
Yeah, I saw
Getting close.
What?
Ghidorah.
Dude, look, the smoke's gonna hit us. Let's see if it's real smoke.
Just a heads up, right now we're about the 10-minute.
That's real smoke, dude.
Just a reminder, stay seated.
That's
At any point,
real
drop anything,
smoke.
just gonna hit it, throw it onto that set. Totally kidding.
How long
If you drop
is it?
anything or you just can't wait to use the restroom, just pull that red cord and I'll come back and help you out. And they could have easily used CGI to create that plane, but Steven Spielberg notoriously loves practical effects. Just about any time he can have something physically in the scene when they're filming, he will. Which is part of why I mentioned we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. Some people ask how it's possible that there's a movie made 30 years ago that has CGI that's just as good, if not better, than some of the CGI now. Well, for the most part, it wasn't CGI. The majority of the dinosaurs that you saw were physically in the scene. They were practical effects. So, like these little guys right here, these are puppets being operated by puppeteers. That Velociraptor is a giant robot. And this was really clever on his part too. This is supposed to be a completely uninhabited island. In the first movie, nobody is supposed to have been walking around. But there are hundreds of people on the crew leaving human footprints everywhere. So Steven Spielberg said, no, my audiences are way too clever for that. He had special shoes made that left Velociraptor footprints instead, and everybody on the crew had to wear them. But to this day, this giant T-Rex, still considered one of the greatest animatronics ever created. This T-Rex was created by the Stan Winston Company. He was so realistic. They actually used real paleontological research at the time to create this. They did such a great job. It was such an accurate rendering. They had real paleontologists coming to Stan Winston's studio to study this guy because he was able to help them in their research.
It's a girl.
The only problem is, you can see in the scene, just about every time he would attack, it was in a giant rainstorm. The skin was made out of silicone. It started to absorb the water, which started to weigh it down. At one point, it was leaning on all ears. The cast and crew were on break. This guy came to life by himself and started screaming on his own. I could not think of anything more terrifying except for maybe being the guy who has to fix the T-Rex, because in order to get to the gears, you had to crawl in through the T-Rex's mouth. Oh. Yeah, no thank you.
I'd do it.
The part of what makes that movie
That would actually be kind of cool to see all those like robot parts in there, right?
I'd love to see how they made Rex.
How do you think they get like that blood?
On the left, you're gonna see this
They
big
took it.
giant freestanding backdrop. It's one of the largest freestanding backdrops in the entire world. It's all slate. It's painted bright
Guys,
blue.
look, we're gonna go through that.
It works for CGI.
We're
Green
gonna go
screen
through that.
technology you probably heard of, but if our actors are wearing green, we're gonna want to use a blue screen instead. One of my favorite directors,
Like
just
that
like Steven
raptor?
Spielberg, knows how to combine those effects perfectly, is Jordan Peele. You saw the movie Nope? Yes, so good, right? They actually filmed
Not yet, I still haven't.
They filmed Nope out in the desert in Santa Clarita. But Jordan Peele loves Universal and you guys so much. They are painstakingly taking every piece of the set out here, reassembling it exactly like it was for the movie, just for our tour. So let's see there, Alien Invasion was at a fictional theme park called Jupiter's Claim. We're passing by it as we head back to our real theme park, Universal Studios. So we hope that you guys enjoyed your tour. We're going to be heading back.
We can't go back to this yet. We have
Sorry,
one
I
more
thought we
thing.
were heading back to the park. You know, I mentioned we have that garage where we work on the Fast and the Furious vehicles. This is it, but I'm not really sure what we're doing here. Give me just a second, guys. I'm just going to call this in. The meantime, you guys just remain seated, pull on all your stuff, all that good stuff.
Something is not.
Hey, we just got rerouted to this main garage. Is that what it is? Okay. Okay, sounds good. Alright, so just let them know in here, and they're gonna tell us what's going on. So, I guess on the count of 3, everybody just yell, "We're here." 1, 2, 3.
For some reason.
They just got here. All right, I got it. Listen, hello, beautiful people. Typically, the people right there, listen to third row. Yeah. You doing good. It's nothing to do. Everybody contacts us and says, show them around. Want you in our secret spot. Have a few friends over, some little misses.
It's basically the real life version of Cars.
See over there? It's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. That working more back over
Imagine
there.
they lock us inside this garage.
You walk like I
do, but I mostly make shorts. It's just my name.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you. To keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want to see the tracking us. So put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone keeps you.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull on to the next bay.
Wait, for real?
So I'm saying the third row, right?
Okay, this is awesome. These guys had a race earlier today and won. They are famous for their race day after parties. I mean, I'm talking like the premier parties in Hollywood. It is impossible to get an invitation. But luckily for us, the best drivers are always invited. So Joe has a standing invitation. Yeah, he doesn't just get a +1. He gets like a +160. So we all got added to the guest list. But like any good Hollywood party, you have to know the password to get in. So on the count of 3, we're all gonna yell the password. Password is family. 1, 2, 3.
Everybody out! The FBI! Turn that music off!
Roman, are you around? What's going on?
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party, and where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Bill?
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. You got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. The cop has suggested clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
What do you mean?
Yeah, don't worry.
Someone wants to hunt us.
Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
And I think he found it.
Call you back. Man, it was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up.
We can't. We gotta.
Try to move that vehicle.
Okay, what about
It's about to get real interesting. I'm on the leases all warmed up, right next door.
Yeah. Aside from the saliva that's on
Grab your
him.
truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Jurassic Park structure?
Oh, that's where my car is.
But just in case, everybody's got your glasses on, right?
Car is.
Okay, good. So just remain calm, remain collected, and remain seated at all times with your arms and legs inside the vehicle.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime! Come to the left! This thing is moving fast enough! Roman, Lenny, hook him up!
Hit it!
Now we're moving!
Stop! Look out!
You give me the witness to another one, we call it a day! The witness is mine, Letty!
How about you eat asphalt?
Don't think you're getting away! Put in the balls!
Way to go, Lenny! Don't climb it at the missile shot! Not gonna happen! Don't worry, I got this! Under construction! Hit the nitrous! Ride or die!
Got on my face.
Once again, I've been your guide, Elena, and your driver's been the phenomenal Joe. Give a huge round of applause to our driver.
Yeah, I think they have you on it.
And you guys have been absolutely awesome. We hope you enjoyed your tour. To our annual pass holders, thanks so much for coming back and joining us. And if you're not an annual pass holder, you can check out any of the upgrade kiosks throughout the park. They'll tell you how you can upgrade today's ticket to an annual pass, and you can come back and hang out with us all year long. Over on the right, you're going to see one last gorgeous view of the San Fernando Valley and some of the other studios. That's Warner Brothers down there, ABC, Disney's behind them. We like to say they're all down in the valley looking up at us exactly like they should be.
Oh, I see Warner Bros.
I'm just kidding. We all work together. We all get along.
Warner Bros.
Oh, while you're here, though, here's a really good tip for you. Download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app. That'll give you all the most up-to-date wait times for all of the rides directly to your phone. Makes it